Hi, this is Jennifer from the Knitting Vortex, and today I'm demonstrating a technique for making non-stranded knitted plaid. Sometimes you want to make a plaid garment or accessory, and using stranding would mean that you have very long floats in the back, use up a lot of yarn, and have a very messy back. Intarsia is impossible because you would need too many different yarns, and so we're going to use a crochet hook to put in the vertical stripes afterwards. For the horizontal stripes, you just knit those as stripes in your piece, and wherever you want a vertical stripe, you're going to leave a purl stitch. So essentially, this garment, this cape, is really a wide rib, a knit 5, purl 1 rib. Now here's the vertical stripe that we have not made the plaid stripe yet. It's going to be a pink stripe that we put in here. You're going to want to use a hook that is the same size as the needle you've used to knit your piece, so that the stitches come out to be the same size. And you'll want to start working, you'll want to work in the same direction that you knitted the piece. In this case, the cape was knit top down, so we're starting at the top, at the collar, and working downwards. So all you need to do is take your hook where you want the stripe to begin and insert it into the loop of that stitch that's in the purl ditch, so that hole is right there. Put in your hook, and then you pull up a loop with your yarn. That's going to be your first stitch. Make sure you leave a tail that's probably at least 4 inches long so you can weave it in later. Then, making sure you don't have the tail but your working yarn, you take your hook, you put it into the next loop, the next stitch that's in your purl ditch. Insert it, wrap your yarn, I've missed it, pull it through, and then pull it through that first stitch. First stitch is loose now, but you can tug on your tail to tighten it up. So you're going to do that all along your stripe. Put your hook in, wrap your yarn, pull it through the stitch below. It's like picking up a dropped stitch. Now, you're working blind on the back of the work. You really just have to use your fingers and feel for the yarn, which is not really that hard. Pull it through. Try to keep your tension even. You can tug on the yarn to keep the stitches neat. Through the stitch, pull it through, tighten if necessary, into the next hole, pull it through, and you can see the plaid line developing. When you get to the color change, just be careful that you're finding the hole. There it is. And you continue to do the whole thing. Use your finger, you can open it up to see the hole you need to go through. And you keep working all the way to the end of your vertical stripe. Then when you get to the end of the stripe, we're going to end here. In the last stitch where you're going to pick up a loop, this one, you bring it up, pull it through, then you'll want to cut your yarn. I've already cut mine. Leave enough to weave in the tail, pull it all the way through, and then just come in from the back through that same stitch and bring the tail back down to the wrong side so the front looks nice, and you'll have a little tail to weave in there on the back. Now, in this piece, I have increases at the raglan line. It has some raglan increases, which are here. So when you're doing the vertical stripes that come off the raglan, the increases will mean you have some tight loops here right at the beginning. So just carefully use your hook to find that first loop and carefully put it in there. You may have to tug a bit on the first one, but just watch for that. Bring it through. And then you just continue as normal. Just watch, because that first loop might be a little bit tight. And then you continue on doing all your vertical stripes. And you might ask, well, you know, I could just use duplicate stitch for this, and it's true that you can, but this is an alternate technique, which is pretty easy, and where the stitches lie neatly in the purl ditch that you've made. It's simple to do, doesn't require any crochet skills, just uses a hook to pick up stitches, and the end result is a nice plaid. So it's another technique for making knitted plaid without stranding.